This is a pretty extraordinary story. It's being reported by several news outlets and boxing websites. In this instance, it's the tabloid newspaper The Sun in the UK. And they're reporting that Jarrell Miller's trainer told him not to do things, but he did them anyway, and said that Miller was hell-bent on cheating. Pretty extraordinary. I mean, not extraordinary that these things were going on or allegedly going on behind the scenes, but extraordinary that his trainer has come out and said this publicly. So his trainer, it might be his former trainer now, Harry Kite, said that he told Miller not to do certain things, but Big Baby did them anyway. He said he was hell-bent on cheating, so was hardly surprised when the fight was canned and Miller banned. Now, Jarrell Miller uploaded a video in the past week or so since this Dillian Whyte story broke. And he has said that he's had conversations with Dillian Whyte behind the scenes and have squashed any beef they previously had. Now, I was watching a Boxing Beats and Rhymes video where he was warning Dillian Whyte to stay away from Jarrell Miller. I completely agree. You know the old saying, birds of a feather flock together? Jarrell Miller, who is somebody I would not trust to tell me the right time in a room full of clocks, he is somebody that can be incredibly manipulative, incredibly devious. And I think Jarrell Miller sees this as a situation to dig himself up out of a hole by attaching himself to Dillian Whyte, because he has apparently contacted Dillian Whyte behind the scenes when Whyte is obviously very stressed right now. Yeah? Whyte has got all these people against him. He probably feels happy to have someone reach out and say, you know what, bro? I've been in the same position. I know how you're feeling. I know you're probably innocent, this, that, and the other. That's what really happened to me. I know you thought I was guilty, but I wasn't really. Like, we can bond over this. Do you know what I mean? That appears to be what Jarrell Miller is trying to do with Dillian Whyte. And as I say, birds of a feather flock together. If you want to look innocent, Dillian Whyte, you need to stay as far away from Jarrell Miller as possible. And I know Dillian Whyte hasn't come out and said that he's had any dealings with Jarrell Miller, but the fact that Miller's come out and said it, you know, Whyte, even behind the scenes, needs to stay the hell away from Miller. If Miller contacts you, if he messages you, don't respond. Just stay the hell away from the guy. Because it's going to make you look more guilty associating with somebody like Jarrell Miller. That's just how it is. You know, I don't know whether Whyte is guilty or innocent, by the way, but just from a PR point of view, it's not a good idea to even be having private conversations with Miller so that he can go public and use it. Because why would Miller even go public with it? You understand what I'm saying? Miller, to me, it looks like Miller is just using this situation for his own agenda. That's what it seemed like to me. He's just using this for his own agenda. It's not about trying to help Dillian Whyte or anything like that. It's about trying to help himself, in my opinion. So yeah, Whyte needs to stay the hell away from this guy. And, you know, he's trying to come out and play the victim and say that Eddie Hearn didn't have his back when he got popped. I mean, why on earth would Eddie Hearn have his back when he got popped for multiple different substances? Furthermore, Eddie Hearn wasn't Jarrell Miller's promoter. Miller was fighting on Hearn shows, yes, but he wasn't promoted by Eddie Hearn. Facts. He was still promoted by Demetrius Salita and Greg Cohen. And Eddie Hearn, and of course, Jarrell Miller was going to fight Eddie Hearn's biggest fighter, his top cash cow. Whereas with Dillian Whyte going in there against Rivas, Dillian Whyte is an Eddie Hearn fighter. Okay, he's on a fight-by-fight basis with Hearn, but he's got a long-standing relationship fighting on Hearn's platform, which is Sky. Hearn doesn't own the platform, but he has an exclusive promotional contract, or nearly exclusive with Sky. So that's, you know, Dillian Whyte is a matchroom fighter, an Eddie Hearn fighter against Rivas, who's not an Eddie Hearn fighter. So who the hell do you think Eddie Hearn's going to back? Obviously, he's going to back his fighter. That's what Eddie Hearn's going to do. That's what 99% of promoters would do. They're going to back their fighter. Yeah, particularly if it's, you know, someone who's doing pay-per-views for him I'm not saying from a moral point of view it's right, but I'm just saying that's what virtually all the promoters are going to do. But with Jarrell Miller, he wasn't in Dillian Whyte's situation. Yeah, Dillian Whyte was the A side in the Rivas fight. Miller in the AJ fight, he was very much the B side. Going up against AJ, who's in a long-term contract with Eddie Hearn. Who the hell do you think he's going to back Jarrell? Like, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out why he backed Whyte, or why he's backing Whyte in the Rivas situation, but he didn't back you in the AJ situation. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Right? Most promoters in the same situation are going to do the same thing. They're going to back whoever's making them the most money in that fight. And that's just how it goes, right or wrong, that's just how it goes. And furthermore, when Miller got popped, he got popped for multiple different substances. When Thomas Hauser put out the Boxing Scene article, he alleged that Dillian Whyte had only tested positive for one substance, and it was very small amounts of that one substance. Yeah, one substance which breaks down into two metabolites. Yes, again, people getting it twisted thinking that Hauser accused Dillian Whyte of popping for multiple substances. He didn't. He claimed that Whyte popped for one substance, but they detect that substance by finding the metabolites, the derivative substances in your sample. And there are two derivative substances that he named that were metabolites of, the one substance. Anyway, when it came to Jarrell Miller, he popped for multiple separate substances. Like very serious substance. Wasn't one of them EPO? Like multiple serious substances. It's a different situation than the Dillian Whyte situation, at least in terms of the information we've got at the moment about the Dillian Whyte situation. More information may come to light where it'll end up looking more like Jarrell Miller, or perhaps it will end up looking like Whyte is innocent. I don't know. But as it stands right now, from the information that's been put out, the Whyte situation and the Miller situation are not close in terms of the severity. So, again, Jarrell Miller, man's talking a whole heap of nonsense and trying to manipulate the situation in such a way that it benefits him. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, trying to make himself out to be some kind of victim. Joke business. Yeah, your own trainer has come out and said that you were hell-bent on cheating. I mean, if that's not true, then go sue the trainer. If it is true, you ain't going to sue the trainer, are you? If it's true. So, yeah, let me know what you guys feel about this in the comment section below. What's happening about.